Heat and noise comes through the firewall, the floor pan, and the tunnel. These are major areas for treatment of sound and vibration damping and thermal insulation inside automobiles. Header heat, exhaust heat, engine noise, engine heat comes through the firewall, comes through the tunnel, the floor pan. So what I'm doing here is laying out the sheets before I get ready to install. I just want to look at fit and finish. We do size the kits for this Camaro, the 73 Camaro. That is the appropriate amount of material, various size sheets, and then we give you a template that shows where these sheets are placed. I've laid out these floor pan sheets to make sure that there's no sheet metal modification or so forth from the original stock vehicle where we may have to do a little bit of trimming. No, it looks pretty clean. I'm going to just go ahead and get started with the install. What we suggest is starting with a straight area of the vehicle first. So this toe pan area is a really nice place to start. And I'm just going to go ahead and bond it, and make sure you don't bond it to the wiring. But to get ready to install it, I'm going to start at this straight edge at the toe pan and then work my way back. So I've got a really good bond. The other thing we did is we took a wet rag and we wiped down any dust or any loose impediments and so forth that may be problems for adhesion. No acetone, no alcohol, anything, just a damp rag, and that is all you need. So as I'm peeling this paper back, I'm then using my hands to get a really good bond for the material onto the floor pan. I've got a tool here somewhere that is a really good aid as well. It's a simple roller, the Hushmat roller, and that just helps you get a really good, consistent bond to the entire floor pan, even to these deep draw areas that exist up against the tunnel. So as I'm pulling this back, the release paper back, I'm getting a really, really good bond of the Hushmat. What Hushmat will do is it'll take about half of the heat transfer and over half of the noise from coming into the interior of this Camaro. One sheet, one product does both. Sometimes you get these really deep draw areas that you have to work a little bit harder to get that product down in there, but Hushmat is so flexible, it bonds exactly to those areas. When we're done, you'll be able to see every channel, every draw area through this material. Hushmat is so flexible, you can see every groove. You can do it with just your hands. You can get down into that channel. It bonds exactly to the surface of the floor pan, which means you get the best insulation possible. You want really, really good contact with the entire floor pan. It's much like insulating a house. You wouldn't leave a channel or a set of studs without insulation. Same thing's true with Hushmat. I mean, that's on there. It's not coming off. The other benefit of Hushmat, which most people don't realize, is you have about 2 minutes to reposition the product. If you put it down, and I'll demonstrate that here, if you put it down and you don't like exactly where you put it, you've got about 2 minutes to reposition it. So if you weren't totally happy with that spot, I can peel it back. and then reapply it. It's a really neat feature of the HushMat product that most other brands can't offer. HushMat has been manufactured in the USA for over 30 years. Manufactured here, it's one of the cultural aspects of my company. For as long as I own it, it will be manufactured in the United States. One other thing to note, we've got a couple of seat anchors that we want to identify. So a trick is to lay that product down, and you see the indentation. That's exactly where that seatbelt and seat anchor, bolt anchor is located. We'll just cut that out with a pair of scissors or a straight razor knife. There you go. Now you got your access holes for the front seat. If you have some really terribly deep draw areas and the product tends to slit or what have you, no problem at all. You're going to have plenty of little cut ends and leftover pieces that you can use to patch up those little slits that may occur in the deep draw areas. Another trick is to take a little slit in that deep draw area and allow the material to relax and then overlap just a tad to then get that really good bond. There we are again. Showing how you can reapply the product if you get it in an area that you're just not comfortable with. So like we talked about, the deep draw where you had that little bit of a slit, I'm going to cut that piece off and I'm going to use that right there and cover that slit up. Because I needed that to allow for the rear seat. Just very minor trimming. I think we've only made 2 cuts in this entire section.